record this. Okay. Hey everyone, it's Jen and we are here for our Team Set It Off meeting. Thank you for those of you that are able to join us live today. If you are just watching this as a recording, hi. But what we're going to talk about today in our team meeting, I have a photo bomber, a video bomber. Today we're going to talk about how to have a success mindset and how to get out of your own way. So this is something that we've talked about before, but it just goes to show you that an overwhelming amount of us feel like this is an important topic to cover. So that just goes to show that just because you learn a concept one time, it doesn't mean it's clicked, you know. And the more and more you just fill your toolbox, as I like to think of it, you know, on how to be a great Beachbody coach and just do the things that you want to do with it, you've got to be focused on this mindset of what a successful person thinks like. So we're just going to kind of dive into it. So let me do my screen share. Okay. Wait, let me just make it just, just me. Okay. All right, so here's our team call at 7/7/15. How to get out of your own way, success mindset. Okay, let's start with some recognition. You may or may not have seen this on our cover photo, but I just wanted to draw attention to it. Look at Kelly's smile. You are an honorary Asian. It's so amazing to have you a part of the family. But in all seriousness, Kelly was our coach of the month in June. She signed 5 new coaches, which allowed her to receive something called a fast start bonus, which for those of you that are listening, if you're like, what the heck is that? Beachbody, if you sign 5 consecutive coaches within a 5-week period, they just give you an extra $100 of being like, wow, you're doing something right. Here you go. So that's just something to keep on the forefront. And she also had just an amazing month. I think this is, no, I can't remember if this is your first time hitting Success Club. No, you've hit Success Club before. No, you haven't, because I haven't sent you anything. Anyways, I digress, but she had an amazing month in Success Club. So, and Kelly's just, something's clicked for her. So definitely, if you haven't already, congratulate her. That's a very huge deal. When I get paid, that's like a really bad one to say. Anyways, when I get paid, you are going to be shipped out your lovely Coach of the Month gift. And I think you'll really like it, and you'll have to post it on our team page once you get it. But moving on to other people to recognize, Success Club leaders on Team Set It Off. Of course, Kelly at Success Club 21. There's me at Success Club 10. My gosh, that was like the very last minute I could possibly get it. And I'll tell you why Success Club 10 and above is really good and something that you want to strive for. And if you're not in our Coach Basics group, I'm staring at the camera because you need to be in it, or catch the next one if you have no idea what these numbers mean. But basically, I help 5 people get started in their journeys, help them get set up with a challenge pack. Now, because I'm an Emerald and above coach, and I have a team club membership, and I have my biography on Team Beachbody, and I pay my monthly dues, and I'm an active coach, and I hit Success Club 10 and above, Beachbody is giving me free Shakeology customers and the $30 commission. So just saying, just starting the wheels turning. If that all sounded like gibberish, you need to be in the Coach Basics group. Our other Success Club earner is Jasmine, Jazzy Jazz, hey. So I'm super excited. This is her 2nd consecutive month in Success Club. So really, really big deal. Give it up for her. And then other honorable mentions, of course, Mother. Success Club 4, and Jamie with Success Club 2, and Bobby with his first Success Club 3.
Oh my God! Who do you sign up?
So amazing, so amazing. So congratulations. Any point is that represents you have inspired somebody to make a big, big change, because that's an investment, dude. They at least spent $130 on themselves. And that's because of something that you did. And that's a huge, huge deal. So, you know, and we're going to kind of get onto that. You know, yes, we get to recognize people for helping Others get started in their fitness journey. Even if you don't earn a commission, it's still a big deal. But I think this is where praise is due. And I know for me personally, my love language is words of affirmation. So I can never tell you guys, each and every one of you, how proud I am of you, and actually of myself too. And even people that aren't earning Success Club points, the fact that you're like in this team call, Sammy, hey, and just other people that, participate in our groups and just make an effort. I will tell you all day long how amazing that is and how cool it is to, just be connected with like-minded people. I can't help you if you, like, every time I message you and you don't say anything to me, but if you're in it to win it with me, I will love you where you're at. So let's move on to the team call. So the success mindset. So we're going to start, and I'm just going to start off with defining what success means to you. Because to me, and you may disagree, I feel like you guys would all agree because we're kind of all the same. I feel like we're kind of like one big happy tribe. But I feel like success doesn't necessarily equal the big, 2-story house with the white picket fence with the Mercedes in the driveway, and, you have X amount of dollars and you have 2.5 kids, and, I don't feel like it's like a checklist, you know what I mean? And I feel like as a society, like, not going too deep into this, but I feel like society and our friends and our family and the way we grew up, like, we have this idea of what we think success looks like. So I just want you to take a step back and think about what success means to you. And it's something that's so individual, but if that's too broad of a question, something that I do want to recommend, if you haven't listened to it already, the Chalene Johnson podcast, the Chalene Show, talked about this in her recent episode. She was talking about how to define success for you. And I think the best way that you can do this, if you have a pen and a piece of paper, I would love it. If you don't, then definitely come back to this call and think about this. But take pen to paper, and I want you to make, like, how like an old school chart of like pros and cons, where you like split it down the middle. I want you to do that, and I want you to define list out how you don't want to feel, and then list out how you do want to feel. Like, just in general. Like, things that you don't want to feel. Like, I don't want to feel stressed out. I don't want to feel like I can only get 4 hours of sleep. I don't want to feel like I'm expected to be somewhere all the time. I don't want to be responsible for other people's happiness. Like, just things like that. And then list out the feelings that you do want to feel. Oh, I want to, feel connected to my spouse. I want to feel present when I'm with my friends and family. I don't want to feel like I'm distracted by something. So that's a quick and easy way that you can start really figuring out what success really means to you. I put this image here where it has the fixed mindset versus the growth mindset. And this is just the clearest way that you can see it. So, with a growth mindset, somebody that wants to grow, they embrace challenges rather than avoid them. They persist even when they have obstacles. They see effort as a path to mastery. They learn from their criticism, and they're inspired. This is the most important thing. They're inspired by other people's success. And if you see other people that are successful at something that you want to be successful at, and it pisses you off, you've got to like check yourself, right? You've got to figure out what's going on deep within inside you that you can't, because that's like the coolest thing in my opinion. Yeah, I get sad sometimes where I'm like, man, I feel like I should be this type of coach, and I should be earning this type of money. I should be doing these kinds of things. But at the end of the day, I take a step back and I get inspired because these people are showing me that the thing that I want to do, these are possible, and I've got to, figure out a way to, make this work, because they've made it work. And the best thing that you can ever do for a success mindset is to realize that there is nothing different between you and the person next to you. Nothing. Nobody's more special than the next person. We've known time and time again, it doesn't matter how much you know, it's what you do with that knowledge. And so that's why you could have someone that's like just a genius and knows everything and knows the ins and outs, but they're like paralyzed by fear. They never end up doing anything, versus someone who's like, you almost feel like they're naive. Like they don't know a lot of things and they're just kind of just going for it, but they're going for it, you know? And so we're going to talk a little bit about some action steps on how to get out of your own way. But don't you feel like sometimes you do step in your own way when you want something, you know, and you start overthinking it and you're like, oh my God, I don't know. And then you sit there and you watch someone else. It'd be like, okay, let me give you this example. It'd be like cliff diving. Like, let's say you really, really want to do that. And it sounds great in theory, and you see people pictures of people jumping off this cliff, and it looks really cool, it looks really fun. And you run up there, or maybe you walk up there, and you start second guessing it, right? You're like, oh man, this is really tall, this is really scary. What if I break a bone? What if I like get bruised because I hit the water so hard? Like, you just start running through all these scenarios, and now suddenly people are like, just go for it. Like you said you want to do it. You dive into swimming pools. You do things like this already. Why can't you do something, this monumental thing that you want to do? And then here you see somebody that's just like, they've never done the things that you've done or experienced the things you've experienced or know the things that you know. And they just like run up there like a little kid, just runs up there, whoop, just jumps off that cliff and just dives right in. And yeah, maybe they got a little bit bruised, maybe it hurt, maybe they're like ears full of water, but they did it. And so that's the thing that I want you to think of, you know, when you start feeling overwhelmed. Being overwhelmed is a choice, just like being in a success mindset is a choice. And as you can see between these two distinctions, a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset, you know, they're very, very different. And it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. It's like that same idea that if you were waiting for your friend or significant other at dinner, right? And you guys said, oh, we're going to meet at 7 o'clock tonight. And you're sitting there in the restaurant and it's like 7:01. How do you feel? Are you worried? Are you like scared that something happened to them? Are you like downright pissed off? Like, oh my gosh, this person's so rude. They like, what the hell is their problem? They didn't even text me, they didn't even call me, they didn't even tell me anything, right? And this is the same situation, right? You're waiting for the person that you're waiting for, and you can have two different perspectives on the same situation. And so when the truth comes out that, oh my gosh, they had to work late, and then their phone died, and then their car battery was dead, and then they had to get a jump start, and then, you know, they didn't have a car charger, like all these different scenarios come into light, you know, things that they really couldn't help, and they get there at, you know, like 7:30, a half hour late, and then, you know, so you just will have a different perspective on the same situation, you know, versus what if it really came to light that that person was in a car accident or something like that. You know, you'll see things in two different lights. And so that's something that I want you to start. The more and more you are aware of the way you're thinking, and not just, I can't think of the word, but you know, like when you're like hyper aware of the actions that you're feeling or the things that you're doing, you know, then you can make a change versus just being this person that's irate or pissed off, or you feel like all these things are happening to you and I don't know how to make this work, and oh, this sucks, and I don't have enough time, and I got all these things going on and no one understands my struggles. You know, that's a fixed mindset versus that growth mindset. So just keep that in mind. And something that too, that as far as success, what it means to you, is I found this, I was looking at these quotes, and this quote is by Stephen Covey, and he has that book, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. Or How to Win Friends and Friends and Family. One of those books. It's a book. He wrote it. You could Google it. You could ask your Siri. Obviously, I can't remember right now. But he said, if you carefully consider what you want to be said of you in the funeral experience, you will find your definition of success. Meaning, and I know this is kind of morbid, but sometimes you have to step back into the bigger picture, because right, don't we get, it's like trying to make a puzzle piece like fit, and you're trying to get this puzzle figured out, and you get so pissed off because you can't like make, these puzzles won't fit, and I don't even know what I'm doing. But when you step back and you look at that box and you see, oh, okay, I'm making a puzzle of like the Eiffel Tower right now. Then you can truly see, the struggles and the things that you go through, and you'll have a different mindset while you're going through those trials and tribulations and things that are really important to you, and things that you should spend your time concerning your emotions and your energy on, versus the things you shouldn't. So in that quote, meaning like when everyone's at your funeral, what are they going to say about you? What are the things that you want to be remembered for? What's success to you? Is success working 80 trillion hours and, oh, wow, you had this really cool diploma and this really nice car and this really nice house and a gated community, and, you had a couple people that kind of knew you, if that's success to you, then that's success to you. But for most of us, it's those memories, it's those experiences. We want to know that we were loved. We want to know that we mattered. We want to know that we lived. So just take some time before we start, before what, I don't know what I'm saying, but you know what I mean, like thinking about what success means to you and having that jumping off point will allow you to differentiate what to, let go and what to push forward to. If something's important to you, if you really define it, and this Beachbody coaching is aligned with the things that really make sense for you and things that click for you, then it's worth fighting for. If you realize, wow, this is a crock of shit, I don't really like this, then don't be a Beachbody coach, right? But if it means something to you, and there's just something in your gut and in your soul that tells you, I feel like this is my purpose. Not your purpose to be a Beachbody coach, but your purpose to help other people. Your purpose to find, to go through the struggle and to help other people along the way, whether that's through their financial freedom or their health and fitness, or just them liking themselves, or whatever it could be. The things that you're going through and the things that are really, really tough for you right now are the things that are going to help someone else. And you're going through those things so that you can help other people through them, right? Because if nothing was hard, then there would be no point to anything. We'd all just be perfect robots. So just looking at stuff in a different light and a different perspective will really, really help you power through when you feel like just giving up. Because I'll be the first to admit, I'm the biggest person to give myself a pity party, and then it's just like, F it, and I don't care, and I'll just, do the bare minimum, and, you just start, I know I did this during the winter months where I started convincing myself, oh, this probably just really isn't for me. I'm not really good at this. I'm different than the other people. I have this job. I'm kind of happy at it. We're comfortable right now. I can't really be an entrepreneur. I can't really be responsible for my own time. And so you start, and then your mind's just like, yeah, no, you're right. And it gives you all these excuses and sticks together, but deep down, you're like, there's just something that just doesn't feel right. So look at your bigger picture and purpose, and just know that success is the end result of numerous failures. Okay, so let's do some action steps. Do you like my GOFYOW? That could be a new rap song, huh? Get out of your own way. Okay, good. It's the right things. Oh, I thought she was behind me. She's not behind me anymore. Okay, so, and just like I kind of just said before, the struggle that you're in today is developing the strength you need for tomorrow. And just know whatever your beliefs are, whether you believe in God or you believe in the universe or you don't believe in anything, I still feel like things happen for a reason. And you are going through certain things, and even though it doesn't make sense to you right now, it will later. It totally will later. So let's go into these action steps. So in step number 1, and these are, and I just kind of thought of these off the top of my head. So if you have any suggestions as far as your action steps on what you do to get out of your own way, once I'm done with this presentation, please chime in because I'd love to write them down. So just know that this is just Jen thinking of 5 different things that I do to help myself get out of my own way, because I like to get in my own way a lot. So my first action step is just to remind yourself that someone has had it way worse than you. Like when I feel tired, when I start making my excuses, I just, you know, because it's easy. I mean, we all have really busy lives. We have shit that we're doing, right? Like Bobby's at the freaking beach right now, and he could easily have been like, oh, you know what? I'm busy right now. Just like how I was at dinner with my parents and my husband, and they were like, oh, just tell him, you know, you'll have the call another day. And I was like, no, like I have to do this. So anytime I'm tempted with that, if I'm tempted to not practice discipline, you know, where it's very easy to make an excuse of why not to do something, I just think to myself, and I do this with certain, you know, like watching other Beachbody coaches' successes, knowing like a little bit about their personal life, like knowing that their dad died, or they were going through a divorce, or they were in a custody battle for their kid, and like I don't even have those things happening to me, and I'm like, if they can go through that, then of course I can go through that. And this is gonna sound so messed up, but because it's our team, and I'm just gonna be real with you, this is what I think of, because I know that the mind is a powerful thing. And so I read this somewhere, so in World War II, like the concentration camps, there were certain people that were in the concentration camps that, you know, they just died immediately. Once they started getting tortured, they just died, right? And then you have those people, you have survivors of the concentration camps, and like they both were tortured the same, right? But the thing is that one person that was able to survive, you know, the only thing that they had no control over any of the circumstances except their mindset. And so, and I know that's kind of all over the place, but what I'm trying to say is that if someone can survive a Nazi concentration camp, I think I can complete my business activity tracker. I don't know. That's just like how that I go to the extreme. But I just think of like people like Kelly who work like 16 hours. I think of people like Jamie who is like constantly working. You know, I just think of people that I know in my life that are not making excuses for themselves, are just, I mean, dude, read any success story of like a single mother or a single father or whatever. Like there's somebody that's gone through way worse things than you and have done amazing, tremendous things with their lives. So sometimes that's like the biggest thing that I have to do. And in fact, I do that a lot too, because I'm just like, oh, F it, I'll just do this tomorrow. And then I'm like, no, you have to do it today, because someone that had more shit going on in their life did it, and they did it even better than you're going to do it. So that's my first action step. My second action step, and this is the one that I think is so easy to say, but so freaking hard to do, and it takes practice. Just like anything, it takes practice. And what did I say earlier? You've got to recognize things as they're happening, because then you can make a change. If you're just like, blah, 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 like not paying attention to why you're feeling the things that you're feeling, and you're just like reacting and not being proactive, then, you know, this step is going to be really, really, really hard. But the biggest thing that you can do to get out of your own way is to take yourself out of the equation. Stop taking things so personally, aka myself. Don't take it so personally. Like, I had to practice this today when I did this. We have a team call every single week, right? And I know next week I'm kind of like going back on my own word, because I will turn things down so that I can do this call every week, because I feel like it's important for me to be consistent, so that there's this expectation with our team that like every Tuesday night we're having a team call. Now I'm teaching a class next week, but that's because I need to be teaching. So I'm going to move the team call to a Monday next week. But when I posted this, and a few people were like, oh, I can't make it. Oh, I got this thing going on. Oh, I got that thing going on. My first instinct's like, like I get really mad, and it's just a natural reaction. It's nothing against anybody. It just makes me feel like a piece of shit. Like I feel like, oh wow, this really isn't important to anybody except me. And then I go, okay, wait, hold on. That's not true. You are overreacting. You need to take yourself out of it. And just think, people have lives. Like just because someone misses one team call doesn't mean they hate you, right? Like doesn't mean they don't want to be a Beachbody coach. So same thing, I will relay this too to like when someone says, and I spend an hour on the phone with them and they're like, I'm going to sign up to be a coach, or I'm going to buy a challenge pack, or I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Or even let's say they bought a challenge pack and then they like ghost me, and I'm like text messaging them and Facebook messaging them and emailing them and posting them on their wall and tagging them in the group and like doing all the things that I can do to try to ensure that I'm giving them as much support as they need, but they won't like respond to me. I beat myself up over it, right? Like you're just like, what's wrong with me? Like what's wrong with me? Like what am I not doing right? And sometimes, and that's why you'll shut down. And at least I'm just speaking in terms of me. So I end up shutting down because I'm like, okay, there's something that I'm doing wrong. And why have I had like really bad challenge groups these last couple months? And I can't get anybody to, commit or whatever. You just go through all these things and it just, like I said, turns into a big old pity party. And you're just like, I suck. Let me eat this ice cream and I'm just going to drink this beer. Like you have to just take yourself out of it. And this is the same thing that I tell people when because I used to binge eat and I also was depressed for a number of years. And it's that same thing that I tell people that are going through it, because it's so easy to like subjectively tell someone like, oh, like, okay, relationship advice. I think this is the easiest one, right? Where they're like, oh, my boyfriend's doing this or my girlfriend's doing this, and this and that. And as a friend, you're like, then just fucking leave them. Like, don't put up with it. But when you're in it, right? When you're in it, you're like, no, it's the end of the world. Like, you don't understand. Yeah. So it's one of those things I understand. It's so easy to say because we're not in the midst of it. We're not in that rejection. We're not in that insecure moment. But if it's one thing that I'm trying to convey is that that's an action step. Take yourself out of the equation because you'll be much happier, because people are going to do whatever they want to do. And everyone's living for themselves, right? Which they should be. So don't take it so personally when someone doesn't message you back, or if you've done everything that you could, then just bless and release it, right? Just let it go, because in 20 years, will it really matter? Will you really be stewing about this and thinking about it? Like, oh my God, Amy Sue didn't buy a challenge pack from me. I don't think she likes me, right? So take yourself out of it. It'll be okay. Life will go on. We will live another day. You have the choice on how you're going to feel. I'm sure you've seen that quote. I think it's Eleanor Roosevelt that says that quote where, no one has permission to make you feel bad. I don't know. I'm just paraphrasing it. Okay, so moving on to action step 3 of 5 to getting out of your own way. This is the one these really hit close to home, hence why I made this slideshow. So number 3, what I like to remind myself is I'm being tested. So like, I'll tell you right now. So when I say, okay, I'm not going to drink any beer until the weekend. This is so bad. Makes me sound like an alcoholic. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to drink any beer. And it's like, in the beginning of the day. So obviously I don't day drink unless I'm like on vacation. And so I'm like, working out, doing my thing. Okay, it's good. Nick comes home. Hey, you want a beer? Like, where's the beer? Here, come have a beer with me. And I'm like, ooh, like, why was it all of a sudden it was so easy to just be like, I want to do this. And then it comes time. It's discipline time, baby. It's either the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And so you're going to be tested. Just like when you say, and so I'm using the example of beer, and I don't think a lot of you here don't drink beer. So I'll use a better example of eating clean. I think a lot of people can relate to that, where you're like, I'm going to diet. I'm gonna dial it in. I'm so dialing it in. I'm dialing it in. and you're so committed to it, right? And then like just something happens, whether you're invited to a party or going out to dinner, or like you're just really hungry, or someone offers you something, you're gonna be tested. And I said this to my really good friend when her and her boyfriend, oh my gosh, Jasmine, if you end up watching this or if you're on this call, you'll know my friend Terry Ann, you know, her and her boyfriend of like 7 years, right? Like they got to this point where, oh my God, bless their heart. But like, you know, I don't know how people stay together for like years and years and years and they like don't even like each other. Oh my gosh. So she's been with them for like the last 3 years of the 7 years of the relationship. It turns into like they just know each other's buttons, and so they'll do things to piss each other off and say things. And so, but deep down, she's like, I really love him. He's so great. Da 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 da. And so she's like, what do I do? And I'm like, dude, I know this is the opposite of what you want to do, but because you've been so mean to him for like the last 3 years, of course, try being mean to an animal for like a week and see what happens, right? Like it's not like it's gonna all of a sudden be like rabid and biting you, but over time, if you push people's buttons, they are gonna react a certain way, and so they're not gonna be loving when you decide you want to be loving, right? So, and then I'm giving you this example. This is a really long example. I'm sorry, but what I told her, I was like, yo, you've got to, like, when he starts being mean, just be nice. And I know you want to just start like yelling at him, but just be nice. Let him yell at you. Let him have all those emotions because you've been super mean to him. And so we said it, and she's like crying. We have like a heart to heart. And like, okay. That same night she texts me and she goes, girl, you don't even know the things he's saying right now to me. I'm about, and she does this emoji with the clap. She's like, I'm about to beat his ass. And I'm like, dude, what did I tell you? Like, I'm like, this is it right now. This is your test. This is you being tested by the powers that be, that like you said you wanted to be nice to him and you want to do all these things, and now you're being tested. So the same things with your Beachbody coaching. You can say, it's so easy to say, I'm going to hit Success Club 5. I'm going to be a diamond coach. I would really love to earn a free vacation. I would really love to go do this and that. And so it's so easy to say that, right? But then you're going to be tested. And the sooner that you realize that, the quicker that you can step up to the plate and just power through it. So when I'm having a really tough time, I step back and I ask myself, I'm like, okay, what did I say that I wanted? Oh, I wanted to hit Success Club 5. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to be tested because not every person that I'm going to talk to or that shows an interest is going to buy it, right? They're not going to invest. It's just the fact of the matter. At my old job, I used to send temporary employees to a warehouse, and we just knew if they ordered 7 people and we sent 7 people and we didn't have any backups, dude, someone's bound to not show up. It's just the way that life works. And you're going to be tested, and the quicker that you realize that, the better that you can equip yourself. And when you have that perspective of like, because I think we all love a good challenge in here, right? So once you realize, oh, shoot, this is a challenge. This is all the things that I read in those personal development books that told me, hey, you're going to be faced with difficulties, then you can rise up to the occasion and move forward. Okay, that number 3 was so long. I'm sorry. Okay, so number 4, to action step to getting out of your own way is understanding that you will not be everyone's cup of tea. People will not like you, and that's okay because you don't want to be everybody's everything. You want to find those people that are really going to truly connect with you. So, and I will tell you this in the sense of me going like all hands in on my Beachbody business. I used to be so concerned with what people would say because I knew those people that were like, Beachbody is a pyramid scheme. Those shakes are stupid. You're such a, like you're taking advantage of people, blah, 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 bloopity bloop, right? Like all the negativity. And I started like what? Like who? Like I don't even talk to these people. So why am I going to care what they say behind my back? Because everyone talks behind someone's back. And so it's just the way of life, right? So why are you going to live your life for, this person that you're never even going to talk to, or even shit, if it's somebody that you like and they're judging you and they're like, oh wow, look at you with your Beachbody coaching, you'll never make it work, like, then that's not a person you need to be around anyways, because if this is important to you, right, then the people that you love and that care about you are going to support you. Now, the closest people to you, sometimes there's backlash, because when we see other people going for the things that we want to go for and they just start doing it, we get upset. Like, people get upset because they're too scared to do what you're doing. So you might find that people are a little bit skeptical, and that's okay, but just understand that, who are you living your life for? Are you living your life for someone else or for yourself? And people won't like you, and that's okay. And gosh, this is one of those things, just like take yourself out of it, where it's so easy to say it in this environment. But I remember on my Instagram, like a couple months ago, when someone like called me an idiot and like screenshotted my stuff and like went on this huge rant on how I was like retarded. It really hurt my feelings. But then at the end of the day, I was like, dude, okay, like, I don't even know this person, and they deleted the stuff that they posted about me and their comments, so I couldn't even find them again. So, just it's going to affect us, and we are going to be upset. It's just like when, oh, she left again. It's just like when someone, for my fitness instructors out there, Bobby, Kelly, Jamie, it's just like when you teach a class and 100 people could tell you, I love your class, you're the best instructor. And one person said that, yeah, your music was too loud and I couldn't understand what you were saying. Right? So, and we internalize that one comment, and it's just human nature, because we all want to be loved and accepted, but not everyone's going to love and accept you. And that is totally fine and totally okay. Okay. Last one, action step to getting out of your own way, GOFYOW, hashtag. The last one is support. Yay. This one's a simple one. This one is so simple. Having a success partner, having friends, having someone that you can vent to, bounce ideas off of, somebody that knows the fight that you're going through, aka Beachbody, aka Team Set It Off, aka other Beachbody coaches. Excuse me. There's strength in numbers for sure. For sure. And Sammy, if you're still on this call, I know she really appreciates the team effort. You know what I mean? Like when there's a team, when you have somebody that's rooting you on, cheering you on, it means a lot, right? And I will tell you, it was really hard to go through my shitty months in like the winter months last year, kind of by myself, because I was too embarrassed to reach out to anyone, letting them know that I was going through certain things. And there's some coaches on our team too that have recommitted themselves. Oh, you're still here. You're just laying down. There's some coaches on our team that have recommitted themselves to their own health and fitness journey. And like because it's super embarrassing to like either gain weight or just like be an active coach or whatever it is, when you're supposed to have this title, we get embarrassed, right? Because we're afraid of being judged. But I think the thing that I've tried my best is to have a team of people and surround myself with people that I can just be real with, be transparent, and like I'm the first to like downplay myself, right? Like I'm the first to just say like, dude, I suck right now. Like this isn't working. Like and just asking for help and support and yeah, it's why we have challenge groups. It's why we have accountability groups, because they work. It's so much easier to go through something difficult with other people than by yourself. So, and those are my 5 action steps for getting out of your own way. These are my final thoughts, and I'm sure you've seen this image before, but I think this is a good one to end the team call with, is that everyone wants to be successful until they see what it actually takes. Right? For my friends of you that have sought out to start their own challenge groups, to actually maybe start Beachbody coaching, once you start doing it, you're like, damn it, this is hard, right? Like, and I think Natasha's a good person to to speak on this too, though she's probably not on this call, you know, in our Coach Basics group, she's like, yeah, I'm in this group because, you know, I decided I want to help people. And then I started running my own groups, and then it just kind of went a little bit off the wall and not what I expected. And it's, you know, so because what you see sometimes isn't necessarily what the behind the scenes work that actually it takes. And all of us are successful and can be successful at this as long as you don't give up, and as long as you do things like this, turn into team calls, you know, make that commitment to yourself to get out of your own way, to further grow yourself. And I'm going to move back to the growth mindset. Where is it? To be this column right here. Intelligence can be developed, leads to a desire to learn, and therefore a tendency to do. And versus a fixed mindset, which says leads to a desire to look smart and therefore a tendency to, right? So embrace the challenges, persist, see effort as a path to mastery, learn from your criticisms, and be inspired by others. So, gosh, I talked for an hour. I was like, this is going to be a short call. My mom said, no, it's not. Okay, so I'm going to go back to here, and y'all can unmute yourselves if you like, and give me, oh gosh, and don't kick the laptop. And let me know your thoughts or anything else you'd like to add to those action steps of getting out of your own way. Nobody's got anything to say?
I'll talk. I always talk, and so I get really quiet so everybody can talk. I'm like,
kid in class that always raises her hand.
true. Well, I was thinking about, I related with everything you said. You gave us great tips. I obviously had something that clicked for me in the last month. And one of the things that I was doing the month prior is I wanted to hit Success Club 5 so bad. That was my goal for May. And I got Success Club 4. And, oh, I was fighting tooth and nail for it. But one of the things that I did is I started just not purposefully. I was journaling. I was kind of like reflecting on the things that I was doing just so I could organize my time better. And then that ended up aiding me a lot because I started to reflect on, you know, what did I do and then what happened, right? So something negative happened and didn't go the way I wanted. And then I would realize I was able to check my behavior and say, you know, did I not follow up with this person? Did I take something personally and then push them away for 2 days where perhaps that could have been an opportunity to learn something and listen? And so all of the things that Jen talked about are things that I use to get out of my own way. And I, you know, like we're just always a practice, right? We're always practicing. Nobody's perfect, and we're never like there because you should always be changing and transforming and practicing, saying no to fear, practicing to, to use alcohol appropriately within your goals. Is that better?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say, like, I really relate to the things that you said and the way that you simplified them, because I hope that this team call that you recorded will be helpful to other coaches for sure. And really, at the end of the day, the last one is the most important, supporting each other. And I know there are coaches on this team that are not connected with other coaches. And so, you know, Jen, I'm thankful that we have you as a leader because you're keeping groups, you're keeping everybody connected. But also, you know, of course, I'm always an open book. So anyone, if you ever think there's anything I can help you with, please reach out. I think that we can also, those of us that are on this call right now, this is important to us. That's why we're here. And some of the people who can't be here, it's still important to them, but they're not here. So I would say that if you are feeling confident about your business right now and our team, it's just going to benefit us all if we try to help those that maybe we see to either connect with them personally or to connect them to somebody else in our team. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I'll tell you too, because and this is the way it happens, because you know, you guys may have heard about my success partner Camilla, and she's not on our team. And the way we met wasn't like, this stuff doesn't just fall out of the sky. You're not like, oh my God, you're my success partner. It just goes, we got uncomfortable and we decided to talk to each other and like, hey, how's it going? Oh, I've seen your stuff. Oh, just like a lot, how girl conversations go. Oh no, you're so pretty. No, you're pretty. No, I like your stuff. No, I like your stuff. Right. And so that's where it starts, or it's like, oh, I saw you post about something and it was really cool, or we have something in common, right? If you see a coach on our team that there's something in common with them, or maybe you follow other Beachbody coaches and you find something in common with them. Now, I'm going to tell you that the top 10 coaches probably won't be your success partners, but if it's just somebody else that you just see doing the grind, you know what I mean? Like, just connect and say hello. And if they're going to be a turd and not give you the time of day, then they're a turd and you don't want to be their friend anyway. But most of the time, other Beachbody coaches are super supportive and super nice. And that is like such a key factor, because you don't have to be alone in this. And that is the biggest thing. You try to do it all yourself, you are going to stop and you're going to give up and you're going to get discouraged. Right? So anything else? Any other tips? Anything else on your mind? Any questions? Any comments?
No.
Thanks, Mom, for answering for all of us. I'm very curious to know, does everyone have Beachbody On Demand? Just raise your hand. Bobby has it, right?
Bobby has it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay! If you don't have Beachbody On Demand and you're watching this as a recording, you're kicked off this team. No, everyone needs Beachbody On Demand. So they're going to do this thing called Challenge du Jour, which they already have going. By the way, if you go on your Beachbody On Demand, it's the first thing that pops up. It's like a workout of the day. They're going to start doing 30-minute express classes of Turbo Kick Live, Pio Live, Insanity Live, and P90X Live. And so they've already filmed the first ones, but I guess I'm going to be in the background. Now, I thought it was just going to be me and 3 other master trainers, but it might be me and like a whole class of people. I don't know. But either way, soon enough, we can all work out virtually. It'll be really cool. It'll be very exciting. So, and they're doing round 65 for my Turbo Kick people. So it's like, it's not like they're doing round 14 or something stupid. Like, it's an actual like recent round. Same with Insanity and stuff like that. So, and it'll give those people that have never done a live class an opportunity to see what the live classes are like. Because it's like, if you really love one of the home programs, that's it. Like the selection of workouts that you have, that's it. But with a live class, a live format, you continue to get new routines. So this is something really cool. It's happening on my end, so I'm just hoping that I don't look like a beached whale. I didn't drink beer tonight, so I was very proud of myself, though my husband. She like never drinks, so it doesn't even count. Anyways, okay, guys. Well, I think that's about it. Take it out. Take it out.
Did you say a date for that?
We need music. We got to dance. Oh, Jamie's talking.
What was that, Jamie?
Did you say a date for
I have no
when
idea.
they would start doing it?
I have no idea. Maybe you'll find out at Summit. Okay. So what should we dance to? Oh, can we dance to Turbo Kick music? Is that cool? Can we do that?
Yes.
Okay. What should we?
Are you going to show the moves?
Do we know? Oh, this would be really good practice. Mom, do you know the recovery? I don't.
Maybe Bobby knows it.
Ain't it cute like whoop whoop? My nigga sweet like juice. Put your balls on in and hope it go on and on like fire. Glad chips and ass. Remind me of my fans. So you told her not to smash. You be the flow. I can't go through the window. So 1-1 was the info. I'm all in love with him, yo.
Okay. All right, guys. That's enough triple. Yeah.